So today is going to be dirt loading day and rock breaking day, and I'll show you why. So a lot of people asked in the video, why can't I just make the pond bigger over here to make up for the volume? Well, I could, but in the long run it's not going to work out because every square foot is used on this whole facility here. So getting a jackhammer in here today on a 200 size machine to start breaking this rock out. So pretty much I was able to dig all this, but from like here back was all rock. And the reason I can't make the pond any different is everything is pretty well planned out on this whole entire site. So as you can tell, when it's all said and done, there's a retaining wall that goes around this pond, and there's parking spaces within like 2 to 3 feet of this pond. So there's absolutely no way that I can change it from the plans, because this whole entire site is just everything. They got as much crammed in here as you possibly can. So let's see, pond's right here, the building's gonna go back up on that side, and then the retail offices back there, and then there'll be all parking lot right here pretty much where I'm sitting. So that's the reason why I've got to jackhammer all that rock out and get the stormwater basin put in the way that they have it spec'd out on the plans. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, is busting all this rock out of this section right here and loading dirt out and rock as well. Get this stuff hauled out of here, and then once that's done, this can have the erosion control inspected, and I can finish clearing the site all the way to the tree protection fence back there. So I'm loading out some dirt while waiting on the hammer to arrive. It's taking about an hour longer than I thought it was going to take to get here. It's been a pretty quiet morning. So I loaded the first load with the grading bucket, and I've loaded the rest of this one because I got to dig up rock and I'm not going to use the grading bucket, but it's about the same. They really hold about the same amount, honestly, and I just assume use this one because it fits in the truck a little bit easier and it's not quite so heavy. About 8 to 9 heap scoops is all the dump truck needs. Well, I've never unloaded a hammer before off the side, but it worked. Alright, now I got to build a ramp to get the hammer over there to the rock. Today I'm going to turn big rocks into little rocks, and little rocks into baby rocks with my Cabelco. Well, let's see what this packer's going to do. That sandstone right in half, unless it's too soft. Why ain't it breaking it? Should have broke. Every hammer I've ever used. I'm pretty sure something is off with the hammer. Somebody doesn't have the flow set right or something. Oh, I think there's going to be a phone call. If it won't break that damn rock, it's going to be a long day. thing smaller so we can haul that in the dump truck. You can see the whole rock shaking, it just won't crack off.
Try and build a line.
Kind of cut a line and see if it'll just shear.
Try to cut an edge. I've done that before and
I can just sit there and break it right off. But I figured a nice big rock like that, I'll just break it right off. Say hello to YouTube.
another day in paradise.
I mean, you can see the percussion just going through it.
Oh, yeah, hammer's fine.
I just don't know if the rock, I mean, it's hard as hell, but I don't know if it's soft enough where it's absorbing the shock load or what.
When it's dusting like that, it's working hard. Yeah. It's no different than when you drill. If it comes up in chips, it ain't hard.
Yeah.
You want that thing to be dust like
Powder like
powder.
that. I just want to see a big crack there and that whole corner break off.
That's what I was saying. You can build that line.
How much do you think it costs for them to shoot this?
What?
How much do you think all this would cost us? So the hammering was pretty much a fail. Had a blast company come out here and it's just, the rock will not break. So it's pretty much gonna have to be drilled and blasted because it's a vein of rock all the way up into the woods. So I think the inspector's gonna let us get away with the rock for now and have the pond at 80% capacity. So we can leave the rock for now, cut our temporary ditches in, and then have all this drilled and blasted at once because this pond's got to go down another 3 feet when it's all said and done. So I'm gonna I cut me a little ramp in here. I'm gonna run it down here. They have to put up baffles in front of this, so I'm just gonna kind of reach down here and make sure that I think there's a rock right here, at least tap it out so they can get their T-post in the ground and put a little dirt back. Right, Kyle?
It's always something, ain't it?
Always something. This is why I like clearing. I don't have to worry about rock.
I left that job a long time ago.
That's right. It's the
Stuff never changes.
first. I would have never expected a sandstone being that hard.
I don't think it's sandstone. I think it's that Roseville rock now.
I mean, I've literally beat on this for like a good almost 10 minutes. Oh well.
You don't have too small of a machine either.
No, I mean that's.
You know, some utility companies sometimes.
What's that? I mean,
85.
What is that? A 5-inch bit or 6?
It's a 210 machine.
Yeah. Well, you want to get a video of me coming down the hill and trying to tap that little rock out?
Sure. Maybe we won't spill it in the ditch. one little boulder. Need chip.
So that is sandstone.
That's true sandstone. That's Roseville rock.
That's solid rock. It looks like sandstone, but it's as hard as granite. Maybe harder. Granite would actually...
Granite's hard. That Roseville rock's harder.
Yeah. That's
You'll be able to see it when they drill and blast it. How fine that dust will come up.
It'll just be like
it
pure...
won't be chips. It'll be dust.
Well, that's what we were hoping for, because that's what I wanted. That's what I thought I was going to do, was break that up.
I mean, you can see how porous it is. Because I mean, you can about break it off just like that.
Can you go break that boulder off for me?
Hold on one second.
Well, that's it. No need to run the hours up. I'm going to go park this thing. Well, the hammer was a lost cause. It worked for the sandstone down there, but everything's just going to have to be drilled and blasted one time. So I dug out for the Baffles down there. He's going to go over there and park that so the low boy can come back and get it. And we're going to continue to get all this dirt loaded out, because it's got to be stabilized, seated, and strawed around the basin for it to pass inspection. And the hammer goes bye-bye. I got to bring a 90-degree fitting for that skimmer. It's supposed to go in at a 90. And the flex pipe doesn't want to bend that much and stay put, so I'm going to put a 90 on there and a couple T-posts to guide it in place. And I think they are coming Monday to put another 12-inch riser on that pipe, on that box I mean. And we'll finish getting the dirt out of here. So I got the rock broke out of the bottom here. I'm going to grade the bottom back out and put the skimmer on. Going to allow us to leave the rock in for now and blast it all when they do the entire site, so we're not paying to have a couple boulders shot out of a pond from a cost standpoint. So now I'm going to grade the bottom of the pond back out. So I've got to get a 90 and put on the skimmer right there, but I'm trying to lay out the baffles now. And the baffles are, it's like a coconut fiber netting that'll go in between T-post right there. So I've got all that laid out, and I just got to paint it so that it makes sense for them. So they're about every 5 feet apart. So this will come up here to about right in there somewhere, and then this one will do the same, and this will be the last one. It'll come up to about right in here too, if I can get a post in that rock. And then this one will come right here and then turn, go that way. This one will line up with that one, and then line up with that one right there, and then this one right here will line up with that one, and those two, and then pretty much connect the dots, and then hope that they can figure it out. Pretty straightforward. And then it's just gonna have to tie into this rock, since they're gonna allow us to leave that for now until everything's blasted.